It's time for more Rich's picks, but this time it's just going to be a little bit different. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Big and Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Good Times with Retro Rich and Fun for Five. That's right, we have reached Evercade Friday. This is the makeup Evercade Friday. I'm sorry, I know we didn't have one yet last week, but we're going to get two today. They're both going to be different. I was shocked and surprised that things were happening, and it's all related and all very cool, but we're going to do it right now. All right, cool. So it is Evercade Friday. We are, of course, talking about this little puppy right here. Whoa. Indie Heroes Collection 1, right? It's actually my sealed one. Still have one sealed because I had a buddy that also had some carts, and when all the crazy stuff went down, happened to send me just a cart only. I don't have a box or anything else, but just cart only. Here, have Indie Heroes because I know it's one of your favorites. And I was like, sweet, thanks, man. So thank you to that person, by the way. But also, I've been riding on that cart for forever, and I've just got my copy hanging in. But it is one of my faves, so I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it on. Whatever. Anyway. The reason why we're going to be doing stuff different for Indie Heroes Collection 1 is because as far as the richest picks go, the cart is the pick. Yes, you heard that right. The cart itself is the pick. This is another one. Kind of like Pico 1. Now Pico 1 had some stuff that, was half picks and all that kind of stuff, so the whole cart wasn't whole picks. I think Indie Heroes Collection 1 is one of those carts that just kind of needs, just like Pico, needs to kind of be in your collection set. If you don't have it already, I mean, that's a strong recommend for me. I mean, guys, you guys do what you want, right? You don't like the indie game scene, you don't like all that kind of stuff. Perfectly fine, right? It's totally cool. I'm not pushing anything or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, as far as my favorites go, like if somebody came to me and said, Rich, I want to know what your favorite cartridges are. If I was going to buy some right now, what's the first cartridge that you want me to buy for my Evercade? And I'm like, do you like cool pick up and play games that you've probably never heard of? If the answer is yes, the first thing that I'm saying is Indie Heroes 1. And the second thing I'm saying is Pico 1. Especially if you're a casual player. Now, if you're still like, oh, I want RPGs, I'm not going to recommend Indie Heroes over Pico. There's no way, because Pico has two great RPGs. I'm recommending Pico over Indie Heroes. This is going to happen. But for this one in particular, it's just such a cool idea. When I first got Evercade, right? When I first got this little thing, all right, let me tell you a little story. Let me get this Richest Picks thing out here. When I first got the Evercade, I first looked up at the 10 cartridges that were the initial lineup. All right, we've got Atari, Namco, Data East, Interplay, Atari, Namco, Interplay, and then all right, at number 10, you get Technos. But right in there, right at the end, right, is Mega Cat and Pico. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard of these guys or whatever. What are these things about? Now, Pico, you wind up finding out that, that they're this company. They've got all these crazy games. They are licensing them all over the place, doing some back work on the back end, sometimes passing it off to whoever is the publisher, in this case, Blaze. And, they do some work and then make these games look and feel really awesome on the handheld. That's awesome. And then Mega Cat is another kind of like independent studio that is putting out independent games, right? So, but the first 7 are all known quantities, right? It's what gets you into Evercade, right? I know this game. What are you doing, dog? My dog is like digging a hole in the carpet of my office. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe he just felt lonely. He's like, you know what? I need to be a part of this video. Pippin, there's my dog. You can't see him because he's behind me, but trust me, he's there. All right. Anyway, so Atari, Namco, Data East, Interplay, Atari, Namco, Interplay, right? Those right there. They're the known quantities. I loved Atari 2600 when I grew up. That was the thing I had in my house. I had an Atari 2600, and then I had a 7800, and I had a second 7800 that I traded for a Sega Master System. That's if you guys know me, that's how my story goes, right? So, But I knew of Namco games because I would go over to my friend's house and they have NES and Super NES and all that kind of stuff. So I'd play the stuff there. And I had a friend that had a Sega Genesis, so I'd, play stuff off of there. A lot of these games, again, like there were the ones that I went to my friend's house to go play, and I was like, okay, I have fondness for them for for nostalgia purposes. But when you get to Mega Cat, it's like I've never played most of these games, if any of them. You have Coffee Crisis and and all sorts of other crazy stuff on that cart, right? But then you get to the back half, right? The back half of the 20. I'm getting there. You get Xeno Crisis Tanglewood, which is another 2 games that are made independently for a system well after its launch date, right? You get Oliver Twins Collection, which gives you a little bit more discovery to stuff that you might not have heard of. You get Atari Lynx Collection 1 and 2. Now I'm like, wow, okay, Blaze is taking me on a journey, right? We are going somewhere, and the somewhere is to places I've never seen, to games I've never played. All right, Atari Lynx Collection 1 and 2 are awesome in my opinion. Okay, you go back. Hey, you know what? We still got some classics for you. Here's Jalico. And I'm like, okay, I remember Bases Loaded and all that other fun stuff. Okay, cool. I'm into that. Okay, cool. Pico 2. Here's some more stuff that you haven't played, and it's mostly sports titles that you may we just talked about that, right? And then Indie Heroes. And as soon as that cart hit, I was like, man, it almost feels a little out of place, but I get it now. And I didn't at first. At first, I was like, okay, these games are cool. They're kind of quirky, and they're fun to play, whatever. And then I played them some more, and I was like, no, these games are actually really good. Yeah, and maybe they're short. Maybe they're shorter experiences. But for a casual pick-up-and-play player, which I sometimes classify myself as in the out of this world, out of the YouTube world, I don't have a lot of time, right? I got a couple kids, got a busy life, hanging out with the wife, doing that kind of stuff. I got work. The Evercade handheld is with me, and mostly, yes, I say I have Pico in there. But when I'm on Pico, it's probably stuff like Indie Heroes or the next cart, right? Because I got to do stuff for the Evercats and all that stuff. But the reason why, again, I want to say richest picks this time is the cart itself. Is because here, you know what? If you haven't seen all of the stuff, let me take you on a journey. And this might be a little longer of a video, it might be different in a video. Guys, hit me up down below. If you're like, hey, I want the richest picks, fun for 5, classic thing. Just tell me about the games you want and then get out of here. Then fine. I will do that. If not, like I said, come on this journey with me and check out this card. Because you know what? I really do think it is something. Let's go. All right, cool. So here we are. It's Indie Heroes Collection 1. We're going to find out which ones are richest picks. It's like I said, it's the cart, right? Because every single one of these games has something about it, all right? So let's play some Alien Cat. My son actually likes this game because it's easy for him to play. It's easy for him to understand. Now, he's about to turn 6. So like I said, there's certain games that he's starting to learn about, like certain game types that he's learning about because of this cart, that he's experiencing different forms of play, puzzle platformers in general, adventure games, like that kind of stuff. And again, they are simple, shorter experiences that are easy to learn, which is important for a younger player, I guess. So Alien Cat 2 is one of those puzzle platformers. Now, the only thing I say about Alien Cat, I do like the little intro, but I mean, I don't know. It is a little much. So anyway, it's Alien Cat. Alien Cat the job is you're collecting these little keys or parts, maybe they're bolts for your ship, and then you've got to find your way, puzzle your way through. Right? That was pretty easy. It's the first level. You hit a button. It lowers the spikes. You get all the things. You go through the mirror, and hooray! Right, and then you get your password. You can go on to the next level. All right, and then as you go, it winds up getting a little crazy because you hit the button, and then all of a sudden, wait, there's now 2 cats. You have to control both, and you're like, wait, what? How is that even a thing? And then, all right, we get some more parts. Oh, this is a thing. So you're going through, and you can't touch the spikes, so you got to make sure you're doing your thing, right? And then you're going to wind up going to the button, right? But maybe you don't want to hit the button just yet, right? Maybe. All right, there we go. You can hit the button anytime. So then you hit that, but then you don't get the second cat this time. But sometimes there's levels and the double cat is there. Sometimes there's more than one, more than two even. But anyway, here's another double cat level. So you got to like make sure, because you're moving at the same time. You got to make sure that you're moving in a way that is okay for you to go, or else that'll happen. Right? So anyway, like I said, very fun time, very cool, like quirky, independent game. It makes you think a little outside the puzzle, the traditional puzzle platformer box, right? It's one of those games where you're like, oh, I never even thought that was going to be like a way that I could complete this level, but because of how they've designed it, you can do all these like crazy things. There you go. I think you get his thing there. So anyway, there's Alien Cat 2. Again, if you're liking puzzle stuff, definitely a recommend. And there you go. So, and again, it's part of the cart. It's a Rich's pick. Now, and Gouna, Warriors of Virtue. So again, here's some more independent games, right? And you figure, oh, okay, maybe they're just simple, just puzzly, whatever, right? So you get a game like this, and you're like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. What's this kind of game? Here we go. It's action RPG time. And now you're playing all sorts of, like, crazy. It's like a Zelda-like kind of thing. You got cool music in the background. You're picking up keys to solve puzzles, to get your thing, to do all that. I didn't expect a game like this on this cartridge, to be honest. As far as the indie heroes go, I figured, oh, well, it's probably going to be a lot of like fun little like quirky games, and I didn't expect something like this at all. But it's very cool. It's a very fun time. And it's not just a dungeon crawler either. Like I could figure, okay, well maybe this is just you just go through these dungeons. Well, once you get out of here, you can actually, once you find the key or whatever, this whole thing opens up, and you've got this like, whole environment to go explore, different dungeons and like different adventures you can go on, all this kind of cool stuff. It's very, very cool, very, very cool. So anyway, and Gouna, yet another game that is very cool. Like you're like that. You're fighting this like big turtley lizard guy. Like, who doesn't want to do that? And anyone that knows me too, I'm playing Golden Axe Warrior right now on the Sega Master System. Of course I'm gonna like a game like this. It's got that whole vibe, and it is kind of it's definitely less. I would say less difficult than Golden Axe Warrior. Yeah, not gonna lie, but that's what you want out of a like kind of casual kind of deal, right? All right, cool. So you guys see what's going on here. That's Gouna. Let's go on, because there's a ton of games on this cart, which is another great thing about the cart itself. Now here's Chain Break. Now this sometimes is one of those games where like people will split on it. I kind of really like this game. It is a Game Boy game. It's got that whole like aesthetic where it's just all green and like there's a little bit of colors, but not many. But this one is a endless runner that allows you to just basically it's run and jump, and then you get like a little speed up floors. You got to pick up coins. You got to do some running. You got to keep your oxygen, and there you go. And then each stage you get through, you've got a password, of course, password system, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. This game. There we go. I didn't grab any of the coins, but just kind of showing you. It's another one of those games. You can just sit there and play for a couple minutes. Do your while you're watching TV or whatever. Just crank out a few levels. It kind of reminds me of like what we'd have like on a phone game or something like that, right? Just quick chunky little levels you can go through. You get good. Maybe you want to do a run. Do speed runs on it or whatever. That kind of thing. But it is fun. I do like playing it. Some of these levels do get a little tricky though. Like after the the first whole stage, it does get a little brain bending. Missed it. But there we go. There's Chain Break, and it's cool. It's a neat game. I like it. Then you get a game like Dadius or Dadius. I think it's Dadius. This is a horror walking simulator on Game Boy. Again, it's one of those what? This kind of cartridge has all these kind of crazy games. This is really wild. Here's intestines on a screen. I don't know. It's crazy. So when you do new game, okay, there we go. It's about this guy, this kid. He's got a dream about the world ending, and there's all sorts of monsters, and this crazy thing is happening, and it's wait, again, these little small independent games. They've got all these crazy stings. I've never seen anything like this ever, and nothing like this would come out on Game Boy. This wouldn't have been one you pick up off the shelf, but. It is kind of nightmare fuel, don't get me wrong. So this isn't one of those games I'm going to say you're going to have fun playing, but it's where else are you going to see stuff like this? And again, I know there's some of these games already came out on Steam and all that kind of thing, but still, it's collected in this retro thing. So someone like me that didn't know anything about the Steam marketplace, or if some of these are on Switch or whatever, I wouldn't have never known, because I would have never went to look on the store for these things. But now that they're in these collections and I'm playing them all, it's cool. It's very cool. So anyway, it is a cool game. It is definitely worth your time to check out. It is kind of one of the highlights on the cart for many. Then you've got Deader. It's a 2020 platformer. It is a puzzle platformer. So as we get into it here, it is kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what the story is supposed to be, but this guy, whoops, I forgot the controls. I definitely wait, I need to start over. I definitely hit the wrong button there. All right, there we go. Yes. And it shows me the controls too. It's what are you doing? There you go. Got your coin. Going to the next level. So you just got to think a little bit. You've got the bombs and stuff. You've got different things that you can do. You could get this thing where you can smash things up. There's different sections of the world that you can go to, so you can instead of just scrolling, I guess it loads extra screens. Not exactly sure why that's a thing, but that is something that does happen. All right, so we've got that. I want to say that you have to push these over so you can get over to the next thing here. Yeah. You gotta push this down so you can make the jump. Yeah, there you go. So it's another one of those games. Again, light, pick up and play, like cool stuff. Cool stuff. I don't know. I like the fact that there's cool stuff to highlight, and this is where you would use like you can't push these, so this is where you would use your head, not only to think but to just break your way through the levels, which is kind of interesting. Get through this. This is the reason why it was hard to do this one, because I knew what was going to happen. I was gonna wind up getting myself in trouble by wanting to play these games over and over again. Oops, wrong way. Anyway, that's Deader. Then you've got what may be one of my favorites on the cart. If I were to pick favorites, is Doodle World. And why do I like Doodle World so much? I mean, it is basically it's like a Mario clone, right? It is kind of like that. I like the fact that not only is there a normal mode and a kids mode. Like I like the fact, I mean, instead of just easy, it is just kids mode. Here, let me show you. It's just, there's not too much difference between the two modes, but it's a neat little platformer. You know, you're like this little guy that, you know, was like the drawing of, you know, some, you know, it's like the drawing of some little kid come to life, right? And it's neat. Like it's just really cool. And a lot of these games actually have like really cool development stories, and stuff that I actually would love to explore. You know, like how these games got made, and like, you know, what was the purpose behind them, and like all that kind of stuff. But you know, it's a collectathon that is also, you know, it's collectathon meets Mario. You know, like, and I don't know. I guess it's just, for me, it's like, it's too cute. It's too awesome. You know, like I constantly find myself playing this game every time I put in this cart. And then, you know, and sometimes I'll freely admit, I played this in kids mode just to play. You know, just because, you know, I like the fact that there is a mode that is easy for kids, right? You know, that you can go through and actually, like, you know, experience the entire game and not have to feel like you're gonna get punished. You can just sit around and learn the thing, and then yeah, you know what, go back and play normal level, and then, you know, get better at the game and that kind of stuff, you know. But you know, it's this game has a lot of coolness, has a lot of charm. You know, it's fun, you know, and you know, and as far as the controls and stuff controls on this game are absolutely on point. So, you know, like as far as platformers go, you know, oops, I went the wrong way. But you know that you're gonna want to make sure that on platformers that you know, jumping is imperative, right? I mean, if you don't have a good jump, you're done as far as the game goes, right? You know, like your game's not going to be fun. But this feels great. You know, it's got contextual jumping. You know, like you can do like long jumps, you can do short jumps, you know, that kind of thing. And if something like that happens, like, you know, you just took an L there, you know, it's on you. You know you did something wrong because, you know, you weren't paying attention or whatever. It's not like it's not something that's going to punish you. So very cool, very cool. So, like I said, Doodle World, definitely cool, and like one of my favorites of the card, because I don't know, I just like it. And I'm gonna get caught. This is what, again, I'm telling you, this is why I knew this episode was gonna be hard, because I want to do, like, I just want to play these games. You know, like, not that I don't want to play any of the other games, but you know, it's a lot easier when you know that they're big media experiences. this is the essence right here. This is the essence of indie heroes. You just want, you know what? Just one more. I just blew through the first 2 worlds of the game, right? And I was just like, you know what? I could just play one more. Just wait, let's show one more level. Just one more, right? And I'm still not even, what am I now? Just about halfway? At Foxy Land, I'll be halfway. It's crazy. All right, so then we got Flea, which is very cool because it's not only a game that's very much like your Meat Boy and all that kind of stuff. It's you collect the games. You're collecting the things that you need. You're collecting vials of blood because you're a flea, and then you're avoiding obstacles, right? Oops. And again, it's another one of those games where you have to have precise movement, but you're not yelling at the level too much. You're yelling at you because you need to make sure that you're getting everything on point. All the things that are happening, these are things that are on you in order to make happen, because the game's giving you everything you need. It doesn't feel bad. The controls are tight. Like I said, this is this you know when you're doing it wrong, because whoops, like I said, when you're doing it wrong because the controls are so tight that it's not on you like that. I knew that I needed to move sooner than that, but there we go. Whoops, should have just went down. But anyway, and you can blow through a couple levels and show some people how the game is, right? Here I'm already level 5. And again, another one of those games that's giving me that feel. I don't know if there's a... There we go. It's another one of these games that's giving me that feel like, oh, just one more level. Like, oh, if I could just play another level, it'd be kind of cool. And the cartridge is full of those. Now, again, like stuff like Gouna and Dadius, maybe not give, maybe another one that we're going to get to in a little bit. They're not going to give you that same feel, but it gives you variety in the cart. But on all these little ones, of course, you just want to, play. There you go. So now we're on level 6, and you just go through. And most of these games, they got 30, 40, 50 levels, something like that. Again, they're not going to be huge, long affairs, but very cool. Very cool. So there's Flea. You got Foxy Land. Here's another puzzle platformer coming at you. There's another one that my son really likes. 28 minutes. So I applaud anyone who's sticking with me on this one. Because like I said, this is it. The cart is the pick. And then here it's another one of those cartridges. It's got a lot of charm in it. This is another collectathon. In order to complete the level, you have to have all of the appropriate diamonds. And when you get all the diamonds, this door opens, and then you can move on to the next level. And you get bonuses for collecting all of the fruits too. But, come on. It's a good time. Get up here. I forgot that there was a double jump in this one. I wonder how many games there are with there that I might have played that there was. He's like, oh yeah, didn't you know, Rich, there was a double jump in that one? Yeah, that would have been easier. It's fun. So there you go. There's Foxy Land. Again, all of the stages get a little more, brain bendery. Sometimes it's harder to get the bonuses, that kind of thing. But it's a fun little game that, again, even I can just hand to my son and say, hey, you want to play some of this? And then know he's not going to get into anything and have it be too complicated for him or anything like that. So it's cool. Now we've got Kubo III. Now we've played Kubo 1 and Kubo 2 straight through before in different Fun for Fives because they were secret games, which will actually maybe, not secret, but another game might be invading the Fun for Five in a very shorter manner very soon, as in possibly the other episode I'm about to do right now. But SJ Games made 3 of these Kubo games, Kubo 3 being the longest adventure yet, where there's 4 different lands that you can go to in this one. And each one of those has like a different kind of like look and different feel, a different adventure that you can go on. And then once you finish, each of these levels and or stages, you can, you'll go and progress, to beat the game. You have to beat all 4 of these little levels. And then, whoop, my bad. This is one of the, I don't know why I chose this one as the first level to go to, because this gives me nightmares of the TMNT levels, or the TMNT bomb diffusing level in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, because you have to kind of just get in there. There we go. Ah, sharks! Get away, shark. Oh. Whew. He almost bit off my hand. But yeah, the other Kubo games definitely had they were a lot shorter, but they were cool. They had there was kind of like a top-down thing, like Adventure of Link, and then there was like the side-scrolling one, and then this one, you get all sorts of different things. But very cool. So again, independently developed. By this, these teams are like 1-2 people. Sometimes they're kids. It's just really neat. But Kubo 3 definitely worth checking out, even though the graphics might not look good, but I'm telling you, it's fun. The gameplay is there. Yeah, here it is. SJ Games is a 7-year-old from France with a little help from dad. Come on, play the 7-year-old's game. Come on, do it. Then we've got Floyd, which is an action platformer. Now this one is really cool and really neat, but I think I know a lot of people like this one, but for me, all of the charm is there, all of the graphics are there, everything else. This might be the one for me that I don't put as much time into. I almost wish I had a save state. Yes, go. All right, there we go. I think it is pretty cool though. That's got an Evercade and tells you to go. And the reason why this one doesn't get as much love for me is because, as far as controls go, this one has the weirdest jump scheme. But I guess to each their own. I wish that the controls were just I don't know, a little bit tighter. I mean, maybe it's because of the sprite size. You know, like they feel a little clunky. The controls. I'm not going to go for that. I mean, the controls aren't like terrible though. I mean, you can do precision jumping and that kind of thing, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So, but ooh. Ah. But even still, this game, like I said, even though it's not my absolute favorite on the cart, it'll still suck you in. And you're like, just one more. So anyway, that is Floyd. Let me get out of here. Because we gotta get through these, right? We gotta get through these. All right, so then we got Quest Arrest, which is a action RPG. Huh. It says this. There's an update available for this game which fixes reported issues. However, loading previous save states may cause adverse effects. Do you wish to update this game? Yeah. You know what? Because I can just replay. But that's kind of cool. All right. The Retro Room. Evercade presents Quest Arrest. Yes, I know. You know, and it's another one of those games where you don't expect a game like this on here, right? But there we go. Why are you late? All right. And this is kind of like one of those games, very similar to Dadius, where there's a story, and they give you some stuff. They they give you a mission. There's no need to visit the jail. We need to go find another radio. What? Are they both in the room? Forgot about that. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to go into this too much because there's a lot of story and that kind of thing. But again, cool thing, very worth your time. Check it out. Quest Arrest. Then we got Super Homebrew War, which is just kind of like rampant silliness. So let me just put it. There we go. Alright, we're gonna do Stickman. Oh hey, it's the Doodle World guy. Oops. And I mean, as you can see, it's kind of like it's homebrew Smash Brothers, only like what you have to do is just jump on jump on your enemy, or create a hit. So, so there you go. I think it's a little unfair that Doodle World kid though can like create this giant thing and like throw it at you, and now it's an obstacle in all these different levels. But it's fun. You can go up here and hopefully the CPU will let me do that. There we go. There we go. Now I've got the power of fireballs, but only for 5 seconds. Oh, sweet. Now I got one of those. Take that. Take that, Doodle World kid. Alright, 5-5. We gotta end with 1, right? Gotta win this. Come on. Gotcha. All right. So anyway, that is Super Homebrew World. If you've got a VS and you've got players to play with, definitely cool stuff. Cool stuff for there. Then you got Twin Dragons, which is another action platformer. Again, this cart is just loaded with cool stuff. Just cool stuff all over the place. Just, it's good. It's good stuff. So I mean, it's another one of those games. It's a collectathon action platformer thing where you've got some kind of cool shooting elements. It's not in the beginning it's not overly difficult. It's got stuff that you can get through. The jumping is cool. Everything feels nice and tight. You're not going to feel too cheated about anything happening in the game. It's just neat. I like the fact you can actually gather stuff after you do a level. I forgot about that. It's been a little bit since I played some of these. I played a lot of Doodle World though. I will say that. So anyway, yeah. Again, just want to play some more. I'm just gonna keep playing. It's the mark of a good collection when it gets you to want to play some more. But anyway, cool. That's Twin Dragons, and then you've got Ultimate Floyd Battle, which is a shoot 'em up. So where the other Floyd game was a platformer, this game right here is a shoot 'em up. That's weird. Why can I? Right. I hit the thing. My bad. But so this kind of invokes, as most side scrollers would, this invokes kind of like the R-type-ish vibe. R-Type is a game that I grew up with. You only get the one detractor though is like that, when you play in normal mode, it's one and done. It just dumps you off there. But still, fun times, and yet another mix game that you can play. And there you have it, folks. There is Indie Collection 1 after this epic fun for 5. This is like fun for 50. But we have successfully gone through every game in the Indie Heroes 1 collection. And like I said, the pick is the cart. Let's go to the wrap up and end this one. So there you have it, folks. Indie Heroes 1, just like Pico 1, it was another epic one where we had a whole huge episode about it. This is just one of those carts just filled with games. I just want people to see. I just want people to just see and experience. And if you did take the journey with me and you did watch this whole video, thank you so much for checking this out. I know this was a long one, and Fun for 5 isn't designed for that, but it just this cart just grabs me, and it just kind of like, makes me play games for 10 minutes a piece. I should have done a fun for 5, to be honest, and maybe I'll go back and do that. I should have done a fun for 5 on each game in this collection, and said, hey, look, I'm doing a fun for 5 in each game because the cart is actually the whole pick. So as far as the richest picks go, was the fun found? Yes, in the whole cart, the fun is found. The pick is the cart. So just go grab it. But seriously, like it's just an awesome collection, and I really like it. And I'm very excited for the next phase of Indie Heroes, as Indie Heroes 2 has already been announced, but they are already dropping games that you can play, right? We had Tapeworm Disco Puzzle, and a little birdie tells me that it is indeed maybe the day that I'm recording, the day I'm recording this now, which is Friday, spoiler alert, is the same day that another game dropped. And if you guys were keen to see that, there was a little red icon on that gearbox, which means I probably have an update, which means you're getting another video, and that Fun for 5 will be shorter because it'll be the game of the month. We got to check in and see what's going on in that. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and check back later on today, because I'm sure I will just record this right away and then pop that one back up in another couple hours. So tell us what you think in this epic one before you get the shorter one. What you guys think of Indie Heroes 1? Is it one of your faves? Do you have favorite games? Do you have games you don't like? Just let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. I love talking with you guys. And until next time, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich. We will see you later. Don't forget, there's another video today and tomorrow. Evercast. It's going to be awesome. Check it out. See you guys.
RTSC.baconicecream.com